My name is Kade Olson. I'm 15 years of age and today I'm coming to you from Sydney, Australia. Today I'd like to talk to you about your life, your habits and how to get to where you want to be in life. And so within your body and your brain and everything, you got something called your declarative memory system. And what your declarative memory system is it's all the memories and things that you can declare. So for me it could be I can say I've been to school. I know my shoe size, I know how many people are in my family, I know how old I am, I know I'm a male, I know my name. Those are things I can declare. And I can declare these because they're in my memories. I know them, I know that I've been through them and I know that they're actually real. And so what this does is it creates a declarative autobiographical self. And what I mean by this is it's everything of your past and your life so far that you can justify with memories. But when you do something right enough times or over and over again, we neurochemically condition the body to memorize that as well as the conscious mind. And once the body knows as well as the mind, that's called a habit. That's what we call a habit. And a habit is where the body is the mind. And so this activates a non-declarative memory system, which means you've done it so many times that you no longer have to think about it, it just happens. And so what this can be, it can be a good thing or a bad thing. When people have habits, they can associate them with positive or negative things. And so it's up to you to decide, do you want your habits to be positive or negative? And what I mean by positive is, do you want it to help you to get to where you want to be? And the reason I'm telling you about these is because you can change your habits. And the way you can do this is you can, say for example, you may have a habit of getting frustrated when you get stuck in traffic, or maybe you get a little bit angry when you get stuck in traffic. Well, the things you can do right is you have to stop in that moment, because what happens if you keep going back to those feelings and those chemicals within your body, it becomes addictive, because the neurons within your body start to fire together, and when they fire together they wire together, which means it's the easiest path to go back to. So you gotta find a way in that moment, instead of going there, you gotta find something that brings up your mood or gets you to feel the way you want to feel that habit that you want. And so this may be through looking outside, seeing something beautiful, something really nice. Maybe the sky's blue, maybe there's clouds out, maybe the water looks really nice today, or just maybe you can put on a song, sing really loud, dance a little. Whatever it is that you have to do to bring up your mood, that will create the new chemicals within your body, which will then start to be the direct path that your body will then go to next time you're in that same situation. So my point is, you can change your habits and the way you live just by taking time to look around and see the beauty and the things that make you happy, because the more you do those things, the easier it will be to come back to them.
Today I'd like to talk to you about your life and how to get to where you want to be. So there's something within your brain called the frontal lobe, and it's located conveniently in the front, as it's called the frontal lobe. And your frontal lobe is what some people call the control panel. And this is because it controls most of your cognitive skills. What I mean by cognitive is your movement and stuff to do with your body, such as your motor functions, which is being able to move your arms, control your muscles, but it also does things like controls your emotional expression, problem solving, your memory, judgment, and the main one that I'm going to be talking about today is focus. And when I say focus, what I'm really trying to say is you need to be able to use focus to harness opportunities within your brain so you can get to where you want to be. And more simple form by this is I'm going to teach you a technique to master and learn things much quicker. So when people say you can do anything you want in life, they're completely true. Listen to that, because it is true, but what some people don't get is not many people tell you how to get there. Well, today I'm here to tell you how to get there. And one of the main things and a really helpful way to complete something or learn a new skill is something called mental rehearsal. And now mental rehearsal is something you do where you vision it within your brain. So you mentally rehearse it. You go over it and over it again. But within your brain, you must look at all the specifics. You must know everything about what you're doing. Say, for example, you were going to try learn a new skate trick. And this skate trick may involve you popping the skateboard, maybe doing a 180 and landing back on it. And now, when people say practice makes perfect, they're completely right. But that does not just mean go down physically and continue trying this trick till you get it. Now, of course, that will help. That'll help a lot. But when you're at home, sitting, doing not much, you can close your eyes and you need to be able to remember that exact movement. So you got to feel the movement. You got to feel what the board will feel like on your feet. You got to know how your shoulders are going to turn, how you're going to land back on your board, how you're going to roll away. You must be able to completely remember every single movement to get this trick and the focus right to get this trick down. Because when you focus enough, your brain will no longer know the difference between your mental reality and what we call this reality. And now, so what I mean by mental rehearsal is you continue to do this over and over in your head. The next time you actually stand on a skateboard and try this, your body will already know the movements, already know the feeling, already know how to do it and how to land and how to roll away. And now it may be a little bit hard to believe if you haven't tried it, but give it a go with something simple. Even learning a new guitar song, or maybe just trying to read or write in a different language. If you replay it out loud, it goes into your head and it goes over and over again until these neurons, which are things in your brain which fire together, and when they fire together, they wire together, which creates a strong pathway within your brain. And what I mean by strong pathway is it's an easy way to get to that emotional feeling, or even stuff that people call muscle memory. This is not just your muscles, this is your neurons have been fired so much that they know it almost automatically. And now that's very good in some situations, but maybe a little worse in others, because you may have neurons that have wired together that may have a habit of things you don't like, but you can use it to your advantage to fire them so much to things that you like that your body will start to recognize those and find them the easier path to get to, which means you may even start getting addicted to the good stuff in life because how much you do it and how much your body is looking for that within your life. And today I'm here to talk about you and your impact on everything around you. And now many people see their life as individual, or maybe they have impacts on people around them, but they don't see it that they have an impact on their whole environment and our universe. And this is because we live in a collectivist society and universe. Everything that you may do can impact someone, even if they're living in a foreign country hundreds of thousands of miles away or whatever. And this is because there's something which we call a universal field. And this universal field is where something you do sends a vibration out to it, and it has an effect on everyone, because that starts to manifest and shape the reality around us. And so everything one person does can have an impact on someone else and the whole world. And now there's quite a famous scientist called Bruce Lipton, and Bruce Lipton said, when many people think the same thoughts, they send a larger vibration out into the world, which then impacts the world on a larger scale. And now this means that the more people talking and the more people saying things and the more people just thinking things will create the environment around them. So everything you do, everything you even think, even if you're just sitting at home thinking it to yourself, the more you think it, the more you emanate that vibration into the world, making that the thing that you're going to start to see in your reality, and more and many people are going to see in theirs. So even just as simple things like that can have an impact on everyone in this universal field. So therefore, you should think and act and see beauty in the way you want to live in this earth and the way you want your environment to be, so it manifests and sends that vibration out instead of anything you may see as negative. And so there's actually an experiment to back this up. And this experiment was done in CERN, in a particle accelerator. And this is where they sent 2 photons around 14 miles apart from each other. And when they performed experiments on one of the photons, they saw that it actually had effect on the other proton. And they may think, or in the first place, they thought this was due to this one changing and coming back and having a physical impact on this due to how close they are. But what they didn't realize until later on was that it actually impacted it actually impacted the other photon simultaneously. And what I mean by this is it had nothing to do with the other one being changed and it coming back and affecting the other one. It had a collective knowledge, it had a collective field, because this is due to Witt's universal field. So the one thing that they did to this one happened to the other one, and that's the same thing that happens when you think a thought, or when even many people think a thought. They send that large vibration out into the earth, and then it comes back down and it manifests into our reality. So we can use this to our advantage. And the way we do this is we start to think and imagine all the beauty and love in the world, or whatever we want it to be like. And then the more people who think the same and look the same as that will start to create this nicer and better, more appreciated sort of world. And now many people know the common topic of global warming because it's becoming an extreme problem. But the thing is, the people aren't focusing on how to change it as much as what's actually going to happen. So the more the people think about these things and the harsh problems and consequences of global warming, instead of them thinking about the lovely things about how beautiful our earth is and how nice the ice caps are, they're thinking, oh no, they're all gonna melt. And as I said before, this vibration will get sent out and it will start to actually happen. But when we take time as a collective, the more the people, the stronger the vibration. So if you just take a few minutes out of your day to get together with a few people and just think of these thoughts and emanate beauty, love and harmony and what you want the world to be like, it will come out to be this ideal example and this ideal world we want. So although there's so many things telling us how doomed we are and the world's gonna end soon enough because we're doing all these things which have heavy consequences, which they do, and people may need to take their time to see what's actually happening and actually stop it. But it's not only that. If you want to make a change yourself, you're able to just go inside and think of all the ways you want the world to be. And then by doing that, as I said, you will start to create the world around you to your ideal world. So on the topic of climate change, we all know there is many ways to start preventing it. Things simple enough such as getting an electric car, getting solar panels, reusing your recycling, or just doing the simple things like picking up your rubbish, which may not have a massive contribution, or you may go recycle your soft plastic so they don't just go to the waste and emit more greenhouse gases. But why are some people not using these? Why do people see the easy option and say, well, I'm gonna take that instead of creating a better future for the next few generations? And now this can be because of habits. And what I mean by habits is there's these things within your brain which are really strongly wired by those neurons I mentioned earlier. And the best way to think about it is, say you're walking through a grass field, a long, tall grass field. If you walk through it once one way, the grass is going to be slightly pushed down. If you walk through it again, it's going to get more flattened. And if you keep going, the more and more times you walk through that same path, the easier it is to find. And now this is the same with your neurons. The more you fire them, the stronger they get, and the easier it is for your body to go to them. It's what you call an addiction, so-called. So you can get addicted to chemicals within your body, such as anger, even, or frustration. This may just because you've used it so many times that your body finds it the easiest path to go to. But there's an easy way to change these, by doing things such as, next time you feel that emotion coming up and that chemical change within your body, you may have to stop, look around, play your favorite song, sing out loud, find something in the world that you find beautiful to change your mood. When you change this mood, it starts to fire those new neurons. It starts to fire another connection which you haven't had in a while, so the grass is still quite tall. But the more you use it, the easier that path will get to, until there'll be one point where you won't even get frustrated in the situation. Your body and your mind will go straight to that happiness, therefore emanating the goodness and the ideal world that we want to create. And now, so you can easily break your habits if you take the time, next time you feel it coming up, if you are able to do those things and find something that you love, so then we can start to create our ideal world.